Okay, hey, I'm about to start cooking. This meal is kind of interesting. Well, not really. It just has a little bit of a memory for me. Growing up, my mom, she worked a lot. She and my dad worked really hard. But when she cooked, this was one of her things that she made, and it's just funny. She made salmon patties out of canned salmon. So like the canned salmon, and then she warmed it into like a crab cake. And we had canned peas and Kraft shells and cheese. And it was something that when we knew she was making that, we would get really excited because I mean, it was good. The combination of the flavors is really good. Peas with pasta and salmon. It was just really very preservative-y, but we didn't care. We didn't know, and it was good. And my brother and I laugh about it to this day, that being like one of Mom's gourmet meals. So, I make a similar meal just for fun, but I change it up a bit. I use fresh salmon or salmon, and we grill the salmon. Today I'm using this. This is salmon, already marinated. We've had this a ton. We actually love this. This is from Aldi. I love Aldi. If you don't know about Aldi, you are missing out. They have great organic products. Great. This is fresh, never frozen. It says it on there. Fresh, never frozen. And you'll cook it just like you cook any other salmon. You can grill it, you can bake it, you can put it in a pan. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with mine yet. We might grill it. I don't know, I'll get there. But I use frozen peas. Obviously fresh vegetables are the way to go. Frozen would be your second choice, and then canned last, just to avoid the preservatives, and your body the nutrients are absorbed when it's either fresh or frozen. I wish we had fresh green peas, but they're not here yet. And then a box of pasta. This entire thing is from Aldi. An entire meal. I've got another one this size and then a small one. So like my whole meal to feed all 5 of us is really only gonna be about, I mean, maybe $25. And it's a good solid meal. It's some good healthy protein, lots of fiber, vegetables, carbs. I'm gonna make a sauce to go with it, which that's what we're gonna do together. And it's like a grow up meal for me with a spin and a cheat. That's me cheating. I like a shortcut, semi-homemade. Takes the effort out of it. I like to do some from scratch stuff, but a lot of times I just would rather take the shortcut. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm starting to think about my sauce. I don't really follow recipes. That's why I'm not good at like writing them down and doing the step by step. I just kind of like go with the flow. Really good. So I think I'm gonna add stewed tomatoes. Definitely gonna add my garlic powder, my pepper. I'm gonna have 2 bags of sweet peas. We love peas, and I personally would rather have more peas than pasta, where like my son would rather have more pasta than peas. So I'm just gonna do 2. Plus peas are so good, like they're just so good. Yeah. And now I'm gonna use butter. All right, so here's a little easy secret about pasta. So I decided to go back and do 2 boxes. I maybe said that earlier. Only because, again, my son, he eats so much, and all you that know him are like, well, if you've eaten with him, you know, but he's tall and thin, but he eats a ton. He'll eat like a whole box of pasta himself. But what I like to do, I've cooked my pasta, and I rinsed it with water. I use warm water. Some people say do cold so it'll stop cooking, but I kind of do mine like al dente, meaning it's not soft pasta yet. So, and then when it's in the strainer, I coat it with my olive oil. And then I did a little douse of this. I'm pretty sure this came from like, what is it's not TJ Maxx, it's the other place. The Home Goods. You can find some really good stuff there. I've had it for a while. Anyway, it's garlic and salt mixed together. So you just spray your pasta. And if you don't have this, obviously, you can just use sea salt and some garlic. And go ahead and mix it together. That way, while it's sitting there and you're making your sauce, your pasta's still getting the flavor combined. I tasted this and I could eat that plain right now, just like that. That alone is good. So that's a little tip. While your pasta's in its strainer. I'm not Italian by any means. I'm a Southern girl. So you Italian people, oh my gosh, you could teach me like a million lessons on this. But this is how I kind of like to do it. There you go. Hang on, I'm coming back with the sauce. Okay, I've decided to do this. My stewed tomatoes, since they're already cooked, they don't need to cook anymore. So I'm just gonna pour them on there. And they're big. That way, people that don't love tomatoes can pick around them. We have 2 people in our family that like them but don't love them. Like, I would eat a whole bowl of tomatoes, and so would my husband, but there's a couple of us that are like, oh, I'll take one. So keeping them big is good. So there we go. That way, when I mix this with the sauce, it's not overcooking the tomatoes, making them like super mushy. They'll keep their tiny bit of stewedness. Just a tip. All right, come on. All right, check it out. Here we go. Let me put my light on. That is a huge chunk of butter. It is organic butter. It's good butter. We definitely use butter in our family. So now what I'm going to do is pour my 2 bags of peas. All right, there's one. Here's the second one. This one's not completely thawed, but that's okay because the water from it will probably help actually thin what I'm gonna do to it. So, sorry. All right, so next, my garlic powder. I wish I had fresh garlic. I don't right now. So there's some garlic powder. We like garlic. Y'all know that. And then I'm going to do some black pepper. There's something really great about black pepper. It's so underrated. But it gives a really good flavor to food without making it like super spicy. So we're going to saute these around. Here's the spoon. Just let them kind of cook. Do their thing. I got my second batch of pasta over here. I think I might leave that out. And then Miller can just add that to his own. So here we go. And just kind of let these cook. I'm going to turn it to low. And let this simmer just for a little bit. And then we'll add our pasta with tomatoes. And then, oh, salmon. Salmon's ready to go. There it is. We decided to bake it. It's a little cold out. Not cold, but chilly. And I don't feel like grilling. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I think it was 350. I kind of always bake things at 350, 375, and then I like work with it from then. Every oven's different. You have to learn your oven or whatever oven you're using. So here we go. And then I love lemon. I love to put lemon, especially in like Italian dishes. There's something about it, it just like does something good. So once these peas get where they need to be, I'm gonna squeeze this puppy right in there just to give it a little zing. Okay, one quick tip about salmon. It's better to have skin on salmon. And when you bake your salmon or grill your salmon, I always use a foil, and the reason why is the skin will stick to the foil. Do not grease the pan, do not, that way when you go to cut the salmon fillets off, they're skinless naturally, because the skin has its own oil in it and it will stick to the foil or the pan if you want to clean that up. I use foil because it's an easy cleanup. No oil on the pan with salmon. Oh my gosh, I finally figured out a way to actually video myself without holding the phone, at least while I'm at the stove. So what I've done, pasta, 1 box of pasta, 2 bags of peas, 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. The tomatoes were just plain. You know, you could get tomatoes with all kinds of seasonings. These are just plain stewed tomatoes. I added garlic powder and pepper. Okay, so this is in butter, a big blob of butter. And like I told you, after I strain the pasta, you spray olive oil on it. It just keeps it from like getting stuck together. It's just a little southern secret. I'm not Italian. Okay, so this, another fun thing I've learned during quarantine is TikTok. Okay, this was TikTok. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't remember which end to do. I'm gonna do this one. See, I have a skewer. I hope this works. And you shove it in there. It's a great, oh shoot. Oh yeah, it worked. And you just kind of pry it open. It's a great way to juice a lemon. Oh, gotta do more than this. Is a big one. So I'm gonna pull it apart just a smidge. I'm actually gonna use my fingers since it's just us. All right, and then you just squirt. This way the seeds do not come out. You just squirt the lemon. Oh, this is a trick. I know this, I forgot. Roll the lemon or the lime. I should have done this before. But give it like a little push around and then there you go. See how easy, and then the seeds are not an issue. You just squeeze it out. And that's gonna make it good. Okay. All right, so let me show you just a little. This looks so pretty. Like, think about at Christmas time how pretty this would be. Like, what a glorious, like, little December meal. So there you go. That's basically done. I'm gonna heat that back up when my salmon is finished. We're gonna lay the salmon on top and then top it with Parmesan cheese and we're done. And you've got a good, solid, healthy, inexpensive, but delicious meal. Pair it with a good wine or tea or whatever you like. Okay, last minute decision. I had a smidge of a Chardonnay left, so I'm gonna pour that in there. White wine and Parmesan cheese are like a marriage made in heaven. You can get, if you're not into alcoholic wine, you can get cooking wine that does not have alcohol in it. You get the same flavor, but it does really do something to it. So I tossed that in there. So, okay, together we're making this semi-homemade, kind of what I grew up on eating with a spin.